Disclaimer. There's a huge watermark. Ignore it, please. I'm trying my best here. Let me set the scene. I'm in school, and I'm really bored. And then my friend next to me, I'm not gonna say his actual name, so I'm gonna call him James, finds a way to get to Tubi on the school Chromebooks, which is pretty cool. And while we were scrolling through Tubi, I was watching Scooby-Doo, the live-action Scooby-Doo, the good one. But then we stumbled across something. Something more beautiful than I could have ever imagined. Funny little Cars. It is this like Cars ripoff show, and it is the greatest thing I have seen in my entire life, honestly. I never thought I could see anything as beautiful as it. It changed my life. It is at the same time the dumbest and greatest thing I have ever watched. And I would just like to share with everyone how great I thought it was. So that's why I'm here today with you all. So excuse me. So the description of the series, right? It says, let me pull it up. The citizens of Doom Valley are not human beings, but cars. Which implies that there's people in this world, but not anywhere near where the show takes place. Just there's cars there. And they're alive. As you probably would have guessed. And you just let me read the rest of the description. Doom Valley is being destroyed by criminals and environmentally unsound business, and it's up to the few residents left in town to stay and fight back. Which, it doesn't make, it sounds like a plot. I have to admit, it does sound like a plot. But when you actually start watching it, you just forget all about that, and it just makes no sense. And I really don't know how to explain it well. It's just like when you actually get into like the series itself, it just like it stays with that, but it doesn't make sense how it stays with it. I really don't know how to describe it, but like, and the show itself was directed by my bad, Vladimir Vilenkovic. So I don't know if he has any track record, and I don't feel like looking him up, but if anyone wants to do some research at home, you can do that. And the series it says it was aired first in 2016. Even though it looks like it's from the early 2000s in my opinion, but I'm just gonna take Tubi's word for it. And the theme song for the show, it goes kind of crazy. It's like, it sounds more professional than it probably actually is, and it just kind of goes kind of crazy. It's pretty cool. The main character is like this forklift dude named Grady. I think he's a forklift. I could be wrong. But that's my best guess. Yeah, that's really all I was gonna say about him, because he doesn't really have much character other than he's the main character. And the main antagonist is named Archibald. He's like this, well, he's a car, but it looks like he has a mustache like Chick Hicks. But it has nothing to do with racing, of course. These funny little cars, they're saving their little place from like bad people. Or my bad cars. And the pacing of this show, it goes like 12 miles a minute. Wait. No, that probably wasn't the best. That doesn't make it seem as fast. It goes like, they're 1 million miles a minute. Not sure why I said 12. My bad. But it's really fast. It just goes by. It doesn't slow down. It just keeps going. Okay, so the first episode starts out with Grady, right? And he's like driving towards this place. I don't know what it is, but like he's driving there. And then he just starts like having issues of some kind. Not exactly sure. But it looks like he's blowing up, but he's not, because he'd probably die if he blew up. I don't know. It's kind of different. And he's talking to an actual car named Slowy, and he's like this old southern car that just kind of sits in one place and does nothing. He's just kind of there. He makes conversation about gas and stuff, like he's struggling with gas or something. That's what I was able to get out of it, at least. And then Grady, he has this like apparently monitor thing built into him that he just pulls out because he can, and he's talking to a dumpster, a living dumpster. Which, I mean, that's pretty cool. Honestly, that's pretty cool. It doesn't make sense? No, I thought it was just cars, but no, the dumpster can. The dumpster is alive. But the dumpster, she like explains the main problem. Apparently, they have this like ecological gas of some kind that the bad guys are trying to take away from them by using it all themselves. Does it make sense? No, but you know, go off. I guess when they run out, they can't get any more, or something. And the background music in this scene is like some like church organs of some kind. I don't know. It's just, it all comes together in a beautiful way. Okay, then after their conversation is done, Grady heads to their gas station, right? And there's just a huge line of cars. All of their 3D models are like top of the line, perfect, not a fault 3D models. They're the best models I think I've seen in my life. Then Archibald and his gang show up. They're like driving through, they splash a fire hydrant because the fire hydrant's alive too. They like run into a puddle and splash it or something. I don't know. Then Archibald's like telling all the cars that they're just gonna have to drive less because there's no fuel. But the cars don't like that. They're complaining. They're getting upset. And like, there's just a back and forth between the random cars in the line and Archibald and his little crew. And Archibald's like flaunting himself up. He's building his ego, alright? He's building himself up. Then just Grady appears, right? You remember him from earlier? He's not a forklift, I learned. He's, I think, a tractor of some kind, but you know, I got them confused somehow. Who cares? That's for a different day. But Grady comes in and he just proceeds to like beat the crap out of them, like a superhero style, like beat down. And of course, before he starts beating them up, he has to get a few quips in, like, you know, of course. And like the way he beats them up, he like uses random, like, I'm assuming gadgets that might also be alive, and like I'm not sure what they are or what they do, but it works. And like, he's successful. And he says those little gizmos were invented by Dr. Kettle, which is the same dude who earlier they said invented their fuel. So I guess this dude's important, but you know, you don't get to know who that is yet. At least I haven't watched the full series, you know, haven't binged it yet. Yeah, the gadgets, little ball things, little metal balls that like transform into mini cars. And that's how he just, I guess, gets a one-up on them. They do something. Their cars, they go ham. And as his gang is getting beat up, Archibald's like trying to get away, and he bumps into the fire hydrant from earlier. And I think he kills it because it starts spewing water and you don't see it alive anymore. So I think he killed it. But not to fear, because the lamppost next to it is alive, and it like disconnects its power line to put it in the water and shock him. Because it can do that, I guess. Then the day is saved by Grady and his little like robot car thingies. And like there's fireworks and everything, which I guess it just had prepared for when this happens, you know, he was prepared for victory. And then credits roll. It just ends like that, and it is wonderful. I love it so much. And I first watched it at school, so like this was very entertaining compared to, well, school, because it's school. So I have a very high opinion on this because, well, it It made me entertained, and that's really all that matters at the end of the day. So in conclusion, you should go watch the rest of this series on Tubi and probably the first episode for yourself. It's free. I thought it was kind of funny. Just the fact that it exists is pretty funny to me. Hey, thanks for watching. This was... Well, it took me a few hours to make. In all honesty, it didn't take that long. But it was like a passion project. This is like the first kind of like actually formatted like professional video I think I've made. And I want to do it more. I think it's fun. I had fun making this. And obviously the microphone wasn't the best, and I had a giant watermark the entire time, but like with progress, could be better. Who knows? And if you have any other random stupid things you'd like me to talk about, put them in the comments. I might be able to make a video like this, but for that would be pretty cool. Thank you. That's it. Have fun. Maybe watch my other videos, but they aren't exactly like this one, so you should do it anyway though.